Alright, real talk. Think alcohol helps you sleep better, or that greasy food after a night out stops your hangover. These myths have been around forever, and some of them could actually be hurting you more than you think. Today, we're going to be talking through 7 of the biggest myths about alcohol that you've probably heard at every party or night out you've ever been to. By the end, you'll know what's true and what's total BS, and maybe save yourself from looking like this next time. Myth number 1, alcohol helps you sleep better. So you have a couple of drinks and you pass out. Easy, right? Must be good for your sleep. Actually, no, alcohol screws with your sleep in a big way. And sure, it might knock you out faster, but it disrupts your REM sleep, the most important phase for recovery. Without REM, you're not properly recharging your brain or your body, and studies show that drinking before bed leads to lighter sleep and frequent wake-ups. That's why you wake up feeling groggy and drained even after a full 8 hours. Now, over time, this can lead to chronic sleep problems. It's not just about feeling tired. Poor sleep affects your memory, your focus, and even your immune system. So yeah, alcohol as a sleep aid. Total myth. You're just setting yourself up for a rough morning. Speaking of rough mornings, let's talk about that late night craving for food. Myth number 2, eating before bed. Saying that prevents your hangovers? You've probably done this one. Hit up Macca's or a kebab stand after a big night out, hoping that the food will soak up the booze and save you from a hangover. I hate to break it to you, but by the time you're stuffing your face, it's already too late. Alcohol gets absorbed into your bloodstream way faster than that burger can even catch up. Once it's in, the damage is done. But here's the truth. Eating before you drink can help. A good meal, especially one with carbs and protein, slows down alcohol absorption, giving your liver more time to process it. It won't stop you from getting drunk, but it can reduce how quickly alcohol hits you. And don't forget, staying hydrated matters too. Alcohol dehydrates you. That's a big reason for those nasty headaches the next day. So alternate your drinks with water. It's simple, but it works. Late night junk food might taste amazing, but it's not a magic hangover cure by any means. Next, let's bust a myth that might be hurting your self-confidence. You need alcohol to be more attractive. Some people think a couple drinks will make them look better or boost their confidence. Like, yeah, I'm totally killing it tonight. But alcohol is actually going to give you a temporary confidence boost in exchange for doing the opposite for your appearance. It dehydrates your skin first, making you look dull and puffy, and over time, regular drinking leads to wrinkles, bad breath, and even weight gain. Plus, that beer belly stereotype, that's a real thing. Alcohol is packed with empty calories, and those sugary mixes don't help either. A single vodka cruiser can have more calories than a donut. And on top of that, studies show that alcohol affects your judgment. So you might think you're looking great and swaggering around, but you could actually be stumbling or slurring your words without realizing it. Alcohol might make you feel more attractive and charming in the moment, but your body and your skin definitely disagree. So let's move on to the myth about teens and drinking. You actually won't believe some of the stats, I think. Myth number 4. Most teens are out there drinking all the time anyway. Movies and social media make it seem like all teens are out drinking every weekend. You might even feel pressured to fit in because everyone's doing it. But actually that's not true. Here in Australia, nearly 70% of teens between 14 and 17 don't drink at all. In fact, alcohol consumption among teenagers has been declining for over 2 decades. That whole everyone's partying image is more of a myth than it is reality. Peer pressure, on the other hand, is real. Around 50% of teens who do try alcohol say they started because of it. But the trend is shifting. More teens are choosing not to drink, focusing on things like sports, studies, or just wanting to avoid the drama. So if you're a teen who doesn't drink, you're not weird, you're actually in the majority. Alright, so now here's one for the memory keepers among us. Myth number 5, alcohol doesn't mess with your memory. You might think only people who black out have memory problems from drinking, but even moderate drinking can mess with your brain. Alcohol impairs short-term memory and brain function. This is especially true for teens whose brains are still developing. Heavy drinking before the age of 17 increases the risk of long-term addiction and cognitive issues. Alcohol also disrupts decision-making. That's why people often make risky choices when they wouldn't normally consider these things, like dangerous stunts or getting into fights or doing something really embarrassing for a social media post. So alcohol doesn't just ruin your memory for one night, it can have lasting effects on your brain over time. Now, your brain's fried from drinking. What now? Can coffee or cold water hit the reset button? No, it can't. Number 6, you can sober up with coffee, cold showers, or even just having a vomit. Had too much to drink? No worries. Just have a strong coffee, take a cold shower, maybe make yourself puke. That'll sober you up, right? Incorrect. Here's the truth. Nothing can quickly lower your blood alcohol concentration, or BAC. Things like coffee might make you feel more alert, but you're still drunk. Cold showers give you a shock. And vomiting, by the time you're feeling sick, most of the alcohol's already in your bloodstream. Alcohol metabolizes slowly, around 1 standard drink per hour. Until that time's up, your brain and body stay under the influence. That's why people still crash their cars after sobering up. So next time someone offers you a coffee cure, skip the caffeine and call a cab instead. Okay, so there's no shortcuts to sobering up, but can drinking still boost your social skills? Last one, alcohol makes you more sociable. Let's be real, alcohol is known as a social lubricant. A couple drinks makes you feel more confident, relaxed, and talkative. So it must make you better at socializing, right? Not exactly. Small amounts can make you feel more outgoing, but the more you drink, the more things go off the rails. Like we said, alcohol messes with your brain, and in this case, your ability to judge risks and control behavior. That's why after a few too many, you see people doing dumb or dangerous things like balcony hopping, getting into fights, or posting regrettable stuff on social media. And those fun moments, they can turn ugly fast, with injuries, arrests, or major embarrassment the next day. Over 52% of the alcohol-related injuries in Australia happen to people between the ages of 15 and 24. It's a pattern. Alcohol lowers your inhibitions and puts you in harm's way without you realizing it. So while alcohol might make you the life of the party for a little bit, it can just as easily turn you into tomorrow's cringy story. Now that's a myth worth knowing if you want to avoid being that guy at the next party, but a bonus myth is that alcohol laws are the same everywhere. You'd think alcohol laws would be pretty straightforward, right? Not necessarily. In some places they get a little weird. Random example, in Scotland it's actually illegal to ride a cow while drunk. In Ohio you can't serve a beer to a moose. And apparently you can serve alcohol to fish as long as you don't get them drunk. Apart from the quirky stuff though, here in Australia, alcohol laws vary a lot. Some countries have strict penalties for alcohol offences, while others take a more relaxed approach. What's perfectly legal in one place could land you in serious trouble somewhere else. So yeah, alcohol myths aren't just in people's heads, they're baked into laws too. While some laws can get weird, most are there for a reason. If you're traveling, it's a good idea to know the rules to stay out of trouble. But there you go, 7 myths and 1 bonus officially busted. From sleep and hangovers to weird laws, now you know what's fact and what's fiction. Which myth surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments, and you can hit subscribe as well for more videos like this.